is.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the final one is in the back. Right?
I don't know, just.
So this here is, Mark brought in the, budget. So that's that, and
In
then,
the pack, there was a summation motion.
The resolution?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I don't have that. But I can borrow somebody else's.
Is that an extra agenda?
Yeah, these are all extras.
I think one of those, so you should
Sure.
put it in review to sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Those are from the minutes from last time.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Jerry. Excuse me?
Sorry.
there's another plow driver tonight, you wanna get on that?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Snowing out, right?
It's
Snowing out.
Yeah.
It's winter, it's snowing.
It's not supposed to not
Yeah.
be permitted, is it?
Dusting.
They said dusting maybe. Hey, buddy.
Good, so.
Hi, I'm sorry.
How you doing, Marcy?
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you.
All right.
Jim, want to pass it to Marissa?
Yep, that's, budget.
Hey,
Thank you.
yeah. Good, yeah.
Sheet for the public. Those are, for the town council, I guess, we use those.
Who's down there? Who's that?
Thank you. Are you set with that, Jerry?
Yes.
All right, welcome everyone to the Watertown Water and Sewer Authority, Watertown, Connecticut. This is a regular meeting, Wednesday, January 21, 2026, at 7 o'clock. We're at the Watertown Town Hall Planning and Zoning Conference Room. Item number 1, we'll call the meeting to order. Item number 2, roll call.
Keith Franson, Great Maine,
Joe Massey.
Marissa Mancini Cavallo.
Mario Mancini.
Jim Sugden. Moving along, item number 3 is minutes. We need to approve the regular meeting minutes,
So moved.
12/3/2025.
second,
Moved and seconded, any discussion, errors, omissions, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Item number 4, we have the superintendent's report. And I'll defer that to,
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna give a update, briefly. So we did hire the WSA utility maintainer, to replace Jerry Leach, who transferred, back to highways. It's, Sam. He's been, working out fine. This is his second month, and he's actually responded to a few water main breaks. As far as water main breaks, the 2 that were in Waterbury and Huntington Ave, that was about 4 to 5 months ago. And the second one on Thomaston Ave, which was the bigger break, was last month. The good thing about our system is we could isolate from Waterbury, and we have about 2 to 2.5 days of water supply in our 2 tanks. The team did a great job, so we didn't have to put out a boil alert notice during that time period. And I was in coordination and attended the majority, if not all, of the meetings with Waterbury. And we also learned that I have to get up in front of the camera, which I did, to tell them what Watertown's position is, because everybody thinks it's happened to Watertown, and it was more of a major impact for Waterbury with their 10 storage tanks. Unfortunately, their 42-inch was down, that's on the eastern side of the Naugatuck, which was being pipelined. Their 36-inch was down, which basically runs down the western side of the Naugatuck. And they actually had to shut our 36-inch down to reduce the flow that was going into the leak. At that site, it was quite interesting. There was rocks that were actually blown out of the hole and went through windows of houses, or the one house that was adjacent to the water main break. And like I said, our team did a great job in responding to isolate us from the system, from the 2 locations, which is Carvel, that goes through Bunker Hill, that feeds the straight tank, and from Fern Hill, that feeds the Scoville tank. There was at least once, if not 2 times, that they had to turn the water back on for us to top the tanks off again, so we wouldn't be out of water. So that was on Waterbury. On our, we had 2 recent water main breaks. One was on Buckingham Avenue. That was just before New Year's. We had a issue with the line. It's actually resting on bedrock. That's probably the reason why it broke, and it was hard to make the repair sitting on the bedrock, as well as we had to suspend some gas mains coming across. The second one we recently had during the snowstorm this past weekend was on Riverside. That one we were able to, in both cases, we reduced the pressure. We didn't go below 30 PSI, which puts us into a boiler alert ourselves. So basically we shut off like 2 to 3 of the ends, and we throttle down the one point that's feeding the leak. So it's like 33 turns out of 36 on a valve, and we still have pressure that maintains to the system. And I know on Riverside we didn't lose a single house didn't go without water during the time period, and it took about 4 to 6 hours to bring back up. On the project status, we're still working Fern Hill, one of the 2 pumps that we have, and we're putting in efficient variable frequency drive, The original pumps were put in with the original install of the Bunker Hill Station for that. So we should have the second pump fully operational in about 3 to 4 months. And if we had to, we could turn on the older pump that is there. The one thing I did learn about the system is you can take your hands off of it and the Scoville tank will actually feed the Bunker Hill tank. Not to the pressure we're looking for at like 60 PSI, but it'll still keep it above 30 PSI within the system. Another project, Waterbury did demolish the old chemical building. That was up on Bassett Road. We were very nervous about it because it's right next to the 36-inch pipe. And been having a lot of positive communications with the superintendent from Water and Sewer from Waterbury, Brad. Their plan was to put their 42-inch line back in service today, which will be a big help to the system. And we are we're also planning, but we also know we have to slow down in the amount of projects, is an insertion valve at Carvel. I don't know what we're gonna call the corner anymore since Carvel's not there, but I still think it's Carvel Corner. And that would be a 16 insertion valve to strengthen our position from isolating from the system. That's the basic report that I have as the superintendent.
Thank you, Jerry. So, item number 5, moving along, is public participation. Before we start with public participation, I want to read a statement here. At this time, the authority will accept public comment. Public comment is an opportunity for residents to provide testimony and input for the authority's consideration as part of its decision-making process. Members of the authority may consider this testimony during discussion and deliberation. However, the authority will not respond to questions or engage in dialogue during public comment. The meeting and agenda are intended for the authority to conduct its official business. Public comment shall be limited to matters within the authority's jurisdiction. There shall be no direct public comment regarding individual staff members. Comments related to staff concerns should be directed through appropriate administrative channels outside of this meeting. And at this time, I'll ask anybody that wants to speak to please sign in on the sheet.
Just name and address, right?
Name and address is fine,
Okay.
thank you.
Go.
Go ahead.
Okay, Catherine Cameron, 31 Cottage Place. Under new business, 8D, discussion and possible action on hiring a consultant to assist in messaging to keep ratepayers informed of future rate adjustments. Really? Now we gotta pay somebody to get a message out? I mean, this seems crazy to me. First of all, I'll do it for free. Could probably find other people to do it for free. As a ratepayer who was getting my bills all this time, I think simply putting a yellow piece of paper or fluorescent green or whatever with the message, and the message should just be telling the truth about what's going on, wouldn't cost you anything more because you could do that for what you're already paying on the postage. And then everything else is online. So I'm not really sure why we would need a consultant to assist in messaging. The message should be pretty clear and truthful, so I really don't understand that. And as a ratepayer, I really don't want to see us paying any more money because now we're talking about possibly paying attorneys and accountants, and I don't know, I just don't understand that. I also want to say that, I really don't have a problem that there's members of the commission that have the opinion that the history between Waterbury and Watertown makes the rates in Waterbury charging unfair. That's your opinion. I don't agree with it, but that's fine. But I do have a problem with the idea that there's any members of the commission that believe that it was okay to shortchange the invoices, because those immediately encounter 18% interest. It's statutory. So, you know, there's kind of like two different things going on, and I never hear anybody talk about that. Everybody just says, you know, what the history was and what the infrastructure is and everything, but we have a real crux of a problem here when a decision was made to shortchange. I work in the legal field, 80% of my friends are attorneys, none of whom can understand that. First question is, why would you shortchange a utility bill when you know it's statutorily 18%? So I never hear anything about that. All I hear is all the other stuff. I also want to say that I was disappointed at the last meeting because I feel I asked a legitimate question that many people are interested in. I got an angry response, but it wasn't even an answer to my question. You're no longer going to be answering questions, so I guess we won't have that problem anymore, but I was pretty disappointed at the way I was treated for asking a question that a lot of people have the same question. And then lastly, I just want to say at last night's council meeting, Attorney Morgan from Harris Beach, Carolina, advised that one of the areas they would like to review is the methodology used to calculate the sewer charges. And I spoke with her in the hall, and it appears that that's being considered prospectively. Okay, fine, but if we all need to be asking, why wasn't this reviewed during the 5 years of pending litigation? Because again, if the issue is a problem going forward, we had it previously. So we spent years in litigation and nobody looked at this. I think that's something everybody needs to be thinking about. It doesn't make sense to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public wish to speak? Hearing none, we'll move forward with the agenda, but at this point, I'd like to entertain adding to the agenda.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session, and that includes the town manager, Mark Ramos, the public works director, Jerry Lukowski, members of the board, Ray Permini, Joe Massey, Maritza Cavallo, Mancini, Mario Mancini, Jim Sugden, and myself, Keith Franson, and attorney Paul Jessel.
So move.
Have a motion, have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
You want to give the reason?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. The reason is to go into executive session with the attorneys to discuss the possible billing discrepancies between the town of Watertown and the city of Waterbury.
So they need to be invited in too.
Add to that, Keith, the
Dan Caravan.
Dan
Canavan.
Canavan.
And includes
Matt
also
Soroka.
Daniel Canavan.
Who's the other one, Paul?
Matt Soroka.
Ireland.
And Jennifer Morgan.
And Jennifer Morgan.
They couldn't be here tonight, so they're just joining us by telephone.
Okay, I have a motion that's been made and seconded to go into executive session with the council, town manager, public works director, town attorney,